Hey guys, welcome to this training all on Instagram. I'm super excited. Hope y'all are pumped. And I'm excited to bring it. So first of all, we know that Instagram for your business, can definitely take it to the next level, right? We all agree on that. Can I see a show of hands? Raise your hand. You agree? Instagram can take your business to the next level. So I'm going to share a little bit of my story with you, just how I hated Instagram and where I'm at now. And I have been asking people to send me questions all day long. Well, I've been asking y'all as well, but y'all didn't have a lot of questions. So I went to everyone else and asked them to send me questions so I could make sure I answer everything that you don't even know that you don't know. Okay. So for myself personally, I used to hate Instagram. I thought it was super fake and it did not appeal to me whatsoever. Anyone else feel that way ever when it comes to Instagram? Totally me. It seemed like it was very artificial and I didn't see the purpose of it. I just felt like it was there was no substance there. There was no value. It was just about showing a cute picture and being like, oh, look at this picture, right? Does anyone else remember Instagram like that? Because that's the way I felt about Instagram for a really long time. But now I am seeing a shift, and I've been hearing it from a lot of other people too, that they see the shift. And Instagram is not just about posting cute pictures now. It's really about networking and sharing value in a way that's going to serve somebody else. And so that's what I kind of want to talk to you guys about. Obviously, y'all are all direct sellers, right? I want you to know that no matter what you're doing in your business or your personal life, maybe you want to use an Instagram account or your platform for bigger things. I want to encourage you to do that. I shared on my business page today an article about top trends for direct sellers. Highly recommend you go look that up on my business page because it talks about the power of influence and how that is really a huge trend for 2020. And I know it's not going to make you guys super comfortable right away, but I'm telling you, you have something inside of you that the world needs to hear and that you're an expert in, and you can serve people with that. So I'm going to tell you a few things because obviously y'all know that I'm a business coach now. But the other thing, obviously, is I'm a 31 consultant too. So I'm going to kind of explain to you how this has worked for me and then go into all the nitty gritty of Instagram because I'm serious, it's going to blow your mind. It's amazing. Okay, so I have been working really, really hard at growing my network online because I'm a homebody and I don't like to leave my house if I don't have to. And so I don't want to have to I'm just not in that place where I really want to leave the house every day. I like working from home. So I am being super intentional at figuring out what I'm good at and offering solutions and helping people, just serving them outside of my direct sell business, right? So outside of 31, but still giving value and sharing in ways that I know is going to support them. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. I have talked right now, I'm looking, okay, Tina, Tori, Destiny, I'm going to use you as examples because I know I've had a one-on-one time with you guys and kind of know exactly where you could play in this. So I really want to caution you. You may look at and other, different people will tell you different things. But for me, I think that the account that you're going to sell from, I would highly recommend you not just focus on selling because nobody wants to sit and watch only commercials. Am I right? You get excited about watching commercials? No. So you're going to use Instagram or any social media as a foundation, right? And then that's like your TV show. And then you can put fit 31 into it. 31's like a bucket. So you're going to have multiple buckets. And I say, really think about 3 things that you want to focus on. And like for me, I can tell you mine is business coach, mental health, and real talk. Those are the 3 things that I know I have value to offer and I can show up and serve people. So you see, like when you look at those three things, like even without necessarily saying, do you want to buy 31 from me? I have received orders from people that, you know, because we are building a relationship, a conversation, and it's like, boom, they're like, oh yeah, I want that. Like, I need some 31 bags. I need a 31 consultant. My consultant's no longer active, you know? And so it is working for me to do that on the regular. I'm getting more people in my VIP group because several reasons. Number one, they may not be able to afford to hire me as their business coach, but they still feel like, dang, they took my time. They just want to help in some way or another. And so they order without me even asking them to because they're just good people. Second thing, I lost that train of thought. So I'm just going to move from there. But do you see how that kind of works and how like offering that value, you don't have to do it just through social media, but in direct sales or as a direct seller, whether it's in like MLMs, direct sales, like no matter what, if you are selling something or working with people one-on-one, you need to capitalize on the fact that you're an expert at something. Destiny is working on building a house right now. I know this. She can probably give all kinds of ideas on design and like hacks to make it better and get more storage space and do's and don'ts on how to do it. All those things, right? Would you guess? Destiny? Am I right? All right. Tori, she loves her silhouette. It's not a cricket. And she is a baseball mom. Her husband is a baseball coach. They're like very serious baseball players, right? So for her, those are areas that she could also really play in those strengths. Only you will know, and you may not know right away. Like you might be like, okay, so I'm going to start here, here, and here. And as you start doing it, you may realize like, I think I need to focus more on these 2 areas. And it's okay for that to change. What you decide now doesn't mean that you have to be like that forever. You're a real person trying to figure things out, and I want you guys to own that. So many times we think that we have to have it all together, we have to be perfect. We're human. And that, when you're transparent about that and just be like, listen, I have this idea and it's not going to work the way I thought it was. I pay for a monthly membership group with Jennifer Allwood. And do you know Jennifer Allwood, who has all these followings, just wrote a book, does these conferences, does a podcast, she does all these things. Do you know she had to get on yesterday and say, listen, I thought I had this all worked out, but it's not going to go the way I thought it was. This is what we're doing instead. Like, you just have to be honest. Like, was I upset about it? No. Like, I just appreciated and I was inspired by her just being real and sharing what's going on, you know, some of the behind the scenes. There's a book deal, a book that I'm part of a launch. Amazon dropped their book. There was problem with the book company that they're using, and they didn't get the book to Amazon, or Amazon didn't order. There was some kind of miscommunication. And so right now you can't even get her book from Amazon. And that's like, some people, if that was me and I'm like, oh my gosh, like these people are going to think I'm crazy. They're going to think I suck. They're going to think that like, I don't know what I'm doing, all those things, right? Because that's how I feel internally. But really, when I look at Carol Ann, I see someone who is like, I'm rallying behind her because I want to support her. I'm seeing her do these things that, you know, it's not going to be like perfect platter. You got to work for it, you know, and she's working for it. I'm working for it. And I want you guys to work for it. So that's my little pep talk as we get started on social media and Instagram. Are you with me? I haven't had that much caffeine, for the record. I really haven't. And I went to the doctor today, got stuck here, eventually went to the hand. Okay, so here are some things I want to talk about Instagram and why you should use it. First of all, I personally think like Instagram stories specifically is where it's at. If you don't have a pen and paper to write that down, you're going to want to borrow someone else's notes. Like, it's more important about what you're putting in your stories than you're putting in your feed. You don't even have to post on Instagram, the feed every day. It's the stories. That's where you want to play for sure, no matter what. Every single day, show up in the stories. And I'm going to give you some ideas on what to talk about. Does everyone know the difference between the feed and the stories? So the stories, these are the things that like I kind of like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I mean, some of y'all, I was talking to Tori today and she's like, what's Linktree? And I was like, you don't know what Linktree is? Like, I forget that not everyone knows all this stuff. Okay, and I am not an expert, that's my disclaimer. Okay, so this right here is your feed. Oh, hold on, the lighting. Okay, all right, so this part is your feed. The top part, you know, here, like by your profile picture, that is your stories. And then the other thing, like, okay, so when you go into your feed, this is obviously not me. This is just, you know, when I go to Instagram and, you know, want to scroll through, here's, you know, that's the feed. But these up here at the top, those circles, that's where you'll show up when you do a story. So when you do a story, you hit, there's a little camera button there. You see the camera button like above my head in a picture that clearly shows I need new headshots. Can you guys see that, the camera? Okay, so like right here, you're gonna click that and then it's gonna open the camera. So when you open the camera, obviously you can take it this way and point it this way, or you can do a selfie like this. I'm gonna do a selfie and post it for you guys and show you. So there, I took the picture right here. You can add filters if you want. There's all kinds of like fun things like stickers, filters. You can write on it and you can use like typing. Just go in and play with it. And then when you are done, you will like, I'm just gonna put a heart so I can post it. All right, so I put a heart, I just drew a heart. You can change the color, you can make it like thicker or skinnier, you can do a highlighter, you can do an eraser. There's so many different things. That's a whole nother training. This is Instagram 100 level. Okay, so you can do that, and then when you're done, you hit the done button here, and you can click over here. It'll say like your story, and you can link it to your Facebook business page, which I'll talk about in a second. And you can send it to close friends, or you can send to, okay? So I will always do my stories right here, that one. So the other thing you can do that's really cool is maybe you want to do these ahead of time and you don't want to post them all at once. There's an arrow that you can click to download and save it to your phone. All right, so, and then you can also swipe and get like different filters, a different lighting, that kind of thing. So that is the stories. You absolutely want to play in your stories. I probably should have backed up and said you need to set it to public. It doesn't necessarily matter at this point in your business if it's business or personal, but what does matter is that it needs to be public. And if you are like, I don't want to share my kids on Instagram, first of all, the world we live in these days, like, I think we can keep them from it. Like, I think you definitely need to be careful. You need to be wise. And if certain situations you don't want to do that, I get it. Trust me. I've had some things happen that I'm like, whoa. But again, it wasn't because I posted a picture of my daughter on Instagram, you know? So just be very mindful of that. I don't use the location setting unless I've left that place, because I don't want someone to be like, whoa, there's that girl, you know? So like if I use the location area, it's after I've already left. But you can use, depending on how you want to do it, you can use like that location thing. If you want to have more people locally to you, if you tag like your town and your area, you're going to show up for people that are also in that area. So it can definitely help you if you want more business like locally. I don't really care about local business as much as I just care about getting out there. And that to me, like I rarely ever do that part, but it is there if you want to do it. So you want public. That means that because nobody wants to go to your profile and send you a request and ask permission. Like everyone wants to know what you're about, to know like they want to see it. They want to see the goods before they buy into you. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to commit to you. And so when you have to say, hey, can I see your feed? Like that's just, do you guys like want to do that? No, you kind of stalk someone out to see what they're about first, right? And it's the same thing with Instagram. So you definitely want it set to public. You can connect your business page on Facebook to your Instagram. So what you post on Instagram and your stories and in your page, or in your feed and on your stories, can go straight to your business page. I definitely do that for my stories. I sometimes do that with the feed. It just depends on what I'm talking about. But I definitely have a different group of people on Facebook than Instagram. My first thought when I came like to Facebook and Instagram and I started on this journey of learning Instagram, my thought was like, why should I be playing on Instagram when all of my people are on Facebook? That's what I thought. And then I realized that my current people, yes, they're on Facebook. But the people that are like I'm attracting to work with me now, they are Instagram every day, because it's so much easier to start a conversation with them. And that's through the stories that I'll talk about more. Okay, so I'm gonna stop for a minute and just see if you guys have any questions. Do I need to back up? Anything seem like way confusing? Destiny?
How do you make it public or know if it's public or private?
Okay, so you have to go to your account settings.
Okay.
And it should show you there. If you go to settings and privacy, account privacy, public. So it looks like that.
Okay, mine's set to public already. I just wasn't sure if it was or not.
Yeah. The other thing, if you're like, I really need to have multiple accounts, you can actually, and this is a mom hack too, if you want your kid to have Instagram, but you also want to see what the heck he's doing, you can have more than one account on your phone. So like I at one point let Emmeline have an Instagram account. I told her like, we're done with that. I let her do it for a second, but she doesn't really use it. And yeah, she didn't really use it anyway, but so you can see, like you can have multiple accounts that you don't have to put in a password in your account and all information all the time. So that's super valuable. The other thing, like maybe you want, like later down the road, you want to segment and make like a smaller, like kind of niche it down more, you can definitely do that. I did start one for Live Out Loud team, like our team. I'm still playing with it. I haven't really had time to really dive in to set it up for our team, but that's something that I've been working on. I do have a personal and a public, but that's just because I already had them set up before I thought about it. I don't think it's necessary. If it's going to be overwhelming, think about like I recommend you having a business one over a private one, a personal one, if you want to use it for your business, because that's the people that you already know on Instagram, you already know probably. And if you're trying to like build, go that. Here's some things that you probably don't know when you look at Instagram. Looks can be deceiving. So there are a lot of people that pay for likes and there are people that pay for follows. And you can actually buy Instagram accounts that already have a lot of followers. Highly, highly discourage you guys from doing that because it's not going to help your bottom line. Yes, it may look good, but I mean, what's it matter if they're not your ideal customer that's going to be buying from you and, you know, there's no profit. They're not going to be interacting with you. They're not going to be engaging with you. It's like fake. It's like an invisible friend that's not really there, but you're just trying to act like you're putting on a front. So highly discourage you guys from doing that, but also know that other people are doing that. So looks can be deceiving with that. So sometimes I would get intimidated in the beginning when I started on Instagram because I'm like, oh my gosh, she has like 16,000 followers. The number doesn't matter as much as it does the kind of follower you have. You basically want the followers who are going to love you, work with you, and engage with you, right? Like, what's the point in having someone that's never going to do anything? They're just there in a wall watching, you know? Like, so don't get so focused on the number. The number does matter because the more you get, the more interaction you'll have because you'll find more of the right people. But the number of followers you have is not everything, and I don't want you to focus on that. Likes are supposed to be going away. I haven't posted in my feed for a while, and that's the other thing I want to encourage you guys. You guys don't have to post a lot in your feed. I would probably, if you're just starting, go on and have like your have some there before you start following people and really building it up. So when you go to your account or they go to your account, they're going to see what you're about, you know? You can introduce yourself. Your goal is to get new followers regularly. I track it every single month. My goal is to hit 1,000. So again, you know, like I don't have, like some people have like 10,000. I don't have 10,000, but I am making money on it. I've had one person pay me, like a lot of people that have paid me money for coaching, they have, like we already had a relationship, but several have now came because of my putting myself out there on Instagram, and then like I give them free content, they want more, and then they come back and, you know, want to work with me. So it's the same thing with 31. Think about like Tina organizing, you know, giving those organization hacks. People want to be entertained. They want to learn. So any kind of how-to videos, how to do this, how to do that, IGTV, do all those in IGTV, short clips. IGTV is the next best thing right now on Instagram because not everyone is using it. So if you start now, you're going to be ahead of the game because so many people haven't started using it. And there's no commercials in there. You know, a lot of YouTube people, they have all those commercials. You can't even watch a YouTube video from like a lot of people now without at least one commercial, right? So IGTV, you make it short, sweet, simple, to the point. It can be really long, but I recommend like not very long, and it needs to be value. Do not post anything on your stories or IGTV that you're not like, this is good stuff, you know? Also want you to know that you can go, like you need to engage as well. And this goes with Facebook too. Like they're gonna like you more and show your stuff more to people, like you're pleasing the algorithms, the more that you engage and interact. You cannot post on Instagram unless there's a hack that I don't know about yet, from your computer. You have to do it from your phone, but you can go in, reply to comments. You can go in and like interact with other people through your computer. So speak like 5 minutes. You can follow hashtags of your ideal person you want to work with. And like maybe you're focusing on organizing. So you're going to share all of these tips for organizing. So you're going to engage with other accounts that people that follow that thing. So the other thing, I feel like I'm overwhelming y'all. This is a lot. Are you guys still with me? Destiny's yawning. That's not a good sign. You're pregnant, I know, but still. Are y'all okay? Do I need to slow down? Do I need to back up? Do we need to have like 10 Zooms over the next 3 months?
Well, we'll probably need another one, but I look at it this way, you're recording, so I can go back through and watch this many different times to catch myself up when I get going. So.
Yes. The first few things that I will talk about, if you do nothing at all, you should know, set up your account, make it public, pair it with your business page, create your bio. Your bio, like a lot of people put like super cute things in there, like I love pizza and dogs. But I want to challenge you to think about like who you want to serve and how you want to show up on the platform and use those things in your bio. Like if you want to organize things and help people organize how-to videos and stuff like that, yes, they'll buy 31 from you, but you're not going to just be talking about that. Remember, that's your commercials, but you're also giving them the other things. So Stephanie, you have a Cricut? Do you do all the crafty stuff? I feel like you could. No? What's one thing you love to do?
There we go. Probably just help people. That's one of my favorite things, I guess. Encourage them, show them who they are, why they're special.
Okay. So your bio could be something about just helping people. Like one of mine is helping women become unstuck. Like y'all should know me by now because I know all of y'all. Like that's my like jam. Like I want to help you get from here to here. So for you, be like passionate about encouraging women to remind them that they're better. So maybe you tell stories. In your feed, you can definitely, you want to have like a combination of like real life things. You want to tell stories. It's not about just a cute quote anymore as your caption. People want to go deeper. We're talking about the feed now. Trying to hashtags is pretty much another conversation. I feel like that really would overwhelm you because I'm still figuring that out. But the biggest aha is who you're trying to reach. And Tori, can I use you as an example for a minute? I always put her on the spot. So Tori was having trouble with sales. Like she's doing all the things, but she wasn't getting the sales. Like they weren't converting. And then I told her, I was like, well, who are you in contact with? And really, bottom line, what it came down to was she wasn't positioning herself to be around the people that would convert and buy, right? And so that's one of the things that Tori and I have been working on is like how to go from not getting the sale to getting the sale. And a lot of that really is positioning yourself to be with the people that are gonna not say, I'm too broke, or I buy my purses at Goodwill, like you're looking for the people that shop at Target, shop at Old Navy, people that are willing to spend money on some nice things. They're not like super sophisticated. Well, some are, especially if you're going the organizing route. You just have to know who you want to reach. Maybe, Stephanie, are you a travel ball mom or sports mom?
Yeah, baseball. We started Sunday.
So maybe one of the things you do is talk about like travel ball, how crazy it is, how expensive it is, how you're paying for it. Like those are things that Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the things that you're going to be teaching people about and sharing about, like it's something you're an expert in. You just didn't know that it qualified you as an expert. People will believe what you tell them to believe, and the thing I think that holds us back the most is we don't believe it ourselves. So we don't think we're the expert. We feel like we don't have anything to offer. Like, who am I? You know, who am I like to give business advice? Every single one of you on here probably could give business advice the same as I have. It may not be this detailed yet because you're still learning. You're at a different place, but you could absolutely position yourself to be an expert in business and use that, especially in direct sales. You position yourself to be an expert in that, and that's going to attract the right people that are going to want to join your team because they want to know. First of all, you won't get the duds that aren't going to do a thing, but you'll get the people, not that we don't love them, because we do love the people that don't do a lot because, I mean, it's community and the relationships and all that. But if you want to make thousands of dollars, you know it's in recruiting, right? So if you're wanting to recruit, the best way to grow a team fast is by recruiting people who will also recruit and not just be in it for the discount. The discount people are like, they serve a purpose and that helps. But if you want to grow a big team, you need to find the people that are willing to do the work and work the business the way you want to work the business. And that's where you get the rapid growth. So when you start positioning yourself as an expert in teaching, even in business stuff, that's going to help position you and people like attracting. Like you're attracting the people that are like, oh, yeah, like I've been looking to do something like that. I love what she has to say. I'm totally going to do that. So consider that as well. I don't want you to think that you can't do this because there's so many other people teaching business. Well, Melissa's teaching business, so I can't teach business. I didn't even know it, but basically Martine is doing the same thing that I do, and there's room for all of us. Like there's tons of room for everyone. I love Jennifer Allwood, and there are so many people that don't even know who she is, but they knew who I was, you know? And so it's like, you don't know who Jennifer Allwood is? Like, how do you not know who Jennifer Allwood is? And people who are attracted to one person, let's talk about Rachel Hollis. Like some people are going to be attracted to Rachel Hollis. Some people are not going to be attracted to Rachel Hollis. So be authentic in who you are and don't try to be what someone else, you think someone else wants. If you're lacking confidence, a huge tip that helped me is to, especially on Instagram, if you like scroll, start following people that are like you. I felt for a long time that I could not do what I'm currently doing as a business coach because I thought I needed to lose weight first. How sad is that? Isn't that sad? That I really like, I mean, I like was so insecure and I was like, well, when I lose weight, I'll do that. First of all, I was a little selfish because I know that I like God has put something in me I'm supposed to be sharing with people. And if I'm not doing that, like that's selfish of me. But also, like, why do I think that? And it's because I was following people that didn't look like me. So finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to find me some overweight chicks that know about business and talk like I do. They're not super sophisticated. They're not like super eloquent in their speech. You know, and yes, I still love Rachel Hollis. So I don't believe it. Like, I'm not 100% in Rachel Hollis's fan club anymore. I used to be, but I'm kind of stepping back a little bit. But like her message or her, you know, like I love her hair. I love her outfits. Like she can style herself really good. She, you know, she speaks well, but I did love, like, I feel like she has that authentic realness too. And that's what I'm drawn to. So like you can draw different pieces from people, but you know, if you're following someone who intimidates you or makes you feel less than about yourself, really start figuring out like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be like looking at their content during this time. You don't have to like block them or like unfollow, but just mute them for a while until you can get your head right and know that like you can do things. So like I started following Melissa Radke love her, love her. If you don't follow Melissa Radke, she's amazing, super funny. I started following Jennifer Allwood. She's now on a like losing weight, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad I found you when I did. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, so those kind of things. Look at like who you are. Like one girl I was coaching, she doesn't wear any makeup. She's came from the Amish community, and she just felt like she couldn't do what she wanted to do because, you know, she wears dresses and she doesn't wear makeup and she doesn't do her hair or anything like that. And I was like, girl, you're following the wrong people. Like, there are people just like you that are doing what you want to do. You just haven't found them yet. And the truth is, the people that she is meant to communicate with are needing her. Could you imagine what the world would be like if the only people that really spoke and inspired people was the skinny mini like girl that had it all together and was super polished? Like, the world would be missing so much good stuff. And so I really just want to encourage you to consider that if you feel like you're lacking confidence. Okay. Y'all ask questions. I have a ton that I'm going to go through real quick, rapid fire moment. Y'all have any questions real quick before I do this, or you want to think about it, Destiny?
I've been thinking about obviously using Instagram more and then creating the Facebook page that we talked about. And I had a thought that could either be used for like a name or just for like a hashtag that I use all the time. So for the account names, would you suggest using just your full name? And then like for Facebook, and then like how would you do that, like to tie them together? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you like have, I think it depends on what you want. If you plan on like branding yourself more than just being known as a 31 girl, this is a journey that I've been through over the last, like, I don't want to just be known as a 31 girl. I am way more than just a 31 girl. And I feel like I've put myself in that box for a long time. So now, like, I'm really, like, I want the Real Talk Tribe to have several different things in the future. And so because of that, like, I want to be part of the Real Talk Tribe, but I don't want it to be just Melissa Batt, you know? So I think it depends on what you're looking for in the future, and knowing that you can always change it later. Okay. And like, you can have groups inside of your business pages on Facebook as well. Start thinking about your questions, write them down as you think about them, but here are 9 quick fire answers to some questions. How do you make your video stories? What apps, if any? You don't have to use an app. You just use that little camera that I shared with you earlier and take it, post. You can only talk for so long and then it cuts you off. So know that. I feel like they changed it recently. Each clip is so many seconds. And the one thing I love when I do IGTV is I will do it through my stories. So if I mess up, I only have to redo one little piece instead of doing a 15-minute video and then figuring out how to splice it and take out the, you know, where I messed up or whatever. What should you share in stories versus posts? Stories is engagement. I'll go over 5 things in a second. Posts, like, once or twice a week is enough for posts after you have like it starting. I think in the beginning, posting more often, you know, as you build it, if you're brand new, is definitely probably in your best interest. But once you have an established account, I would say once a week. I mean, I haven't even been posting once a week because stories really is where it's at. How do you make GIFs for either stories or posts? So for stories, it's in the stickers section. And for your, well, hold on. What did she say? Let me read that question again. For your feed, it's probably through something like Canva. I've never put it in my feed. Hey there. So I would think Canva. I know you can do it through Canva. I know DMs are important. What's the best strategy for encouraging people to DM you? Okay, so this is where it gets really good and juicy. You're gonna want to take notes on this. So you're gonna like start building relationships. You're gonna pretend like these are your friends. Instead of acting like you're talking to like all of the people, you're gonna think about like your ideal customer, your bestie, and you're gonna be talking to her. Like you're not gonna say, hey everyone, I have a question for you. You're gonna say, hey, I have a question for you. You know, do you see the difference? Like you, I have a question for you, not I have a question for everyone. So you're talking to one specific person. Not everyone's good. Like you're gonna get unfollows, you're gonna get all that. Like that's normal and it's not about you. They're just not your people and that's fine. You're just gonna have to flip it off and whatever. Whatever, get that off your back. Don't stress over it. So you're going to ask a combination of things. I'm trying to go back to my 5 stories a day. Share something you love, ask an opinion, give advice. You can do like Work With Me Wednesday, 31 Thursday, and then just like real life stuff that's going on. Your kid's doing something funny. When you start, especially when you're not selling something, but you're talking about like, say you got a new curling iron and you love it, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, guys, you will love this curling iron. When you say something like that, and then they're like, hey, I'm going to try that curling iron and they love it. Guess what? They then start trusting you, right? So you're building that like, know, and trust factor through these things. So anything like a recipe, be like, hey, this is what we're having for dinner. You know, that might be one of your pillars to begin with. If you cook a lot, you might want to say like, hey, what's for dinner? Here's what I'm making. DM me for the recipe. You're going to ask opinions. So kind of like this or that things like, trying to think of an example. I just did one, but my mind is blank now, what I said. Oh, today I did an opinion. I asked a question. I asked for help. So like I said, why is it every time I curl my hair, this side looks perfect, this side looks awful? What am I doing wrong here? Obviously, I'm talking to hair people, right? And asking for tips. So then again, we're building that relationship in the DMs because that's the only way people can communicate in the stories with you is by DMing you. And if people are like, this is one thing that a lot of people do not know, they're doing it wrong. Stories is for interaction. A lot of people who are using stories don't realize it's for interaction. And so then you like DM them and be like, oh my gosh, that was so funny. You know, like any little conversation and they don't say anything back to you. Just know they're either really busy and forget to come back to it, or they're just dumb and don't know what Instagram is really for. Did I really just say that? I did. So just know that, like if anyone is responding to you in your DMs from watching your stories, which by the way, it also tells you who saw your stories. So you can follow up. You can do a poll like, hey, what's your favorite restaurant? This or this, or should we go to the movies or ice skating? You can do a poll and see what people choose. You can do a group chat, so they join a chat to talk about things. You could do so many different ways to really get that engagement. And then like say like the clutter challenge that I just did, I said, hey, if you guys are interested in the clutter challenge, just send me your email. I'll make sure you get the information, you know, and I got a couple people that were like, yeah, let me in on that. So doing those kind of things, showing the behind the scenes, like, and you really like, as you start doing it, you will get more strategic. Right now, if you're not using it, it's really just about starting somewhere. And then once you start doing it, you realize like there's actually a purpose behind it. And when you get intentional and a strategy, so like I'm like launching the clutter challenge, talking about it regularly. Like I bring it up in every day I'm bringing it up somewhat in my story. Like, hey guys, just so you know, don't forget, you know, and yes, sometimes I do say guys and y'all and whatever, because is habit. All right, next question, because I really want to be done by 8. Okay. That's how you get people to DM you, and you don't forget to DM them back, and don't hesitate to DM other people and respond to their stories. I never DM somebody and just say, hey, do you want to buy 31? Don't do that. Hey, do you want to do, like, unless you know them really well, no, you don't do that. It's really about interaction.
What is DM? Is that kind of like messaging somebody?
Yes. Great question. Thank you for saying that. Because again, you know, like sometimes I am the queen of not understanding the obvious. Like today when I was at the wrong car for like 5 minutes to get in a car. So yes, DM is what they call it in Instagram. It's your direct messages. There's a little arrow. I'll show you because that's a really good question. Okay, so you see that little arrow with a number? Like airplane-like thing?
Yes.
That is your DMs. And so it'll say like replied to your story. And then you know like they replied to your story.
Okay.
And then you can respond. You can send pictures, you can do voice memos. I encourage you to use voice memos once you start talking to people, because then do we have the same phone cover?
Yeah.
That's funny. I encourage you to use the voice memos though, even on Facebook Messenger, because that's helping people feel like they already know you, even if they've never met you. All right, so next question. I will have video tutorials. Should I put snippets in stories or IGTV? So you can do your video tutorial in IGTV. A behind the scene could be you creating the tutorial and talking to people about the tutorial. You point people to the IGTV video that you're going to be doing the tutorial in, and then you can actually share once you post it in your feed, which is not really in your feed. It's too much for you guys, but you can share it to your stories. You can share any post that you post into your stories. What is the best way to use IGTV? Okay, so I like to do like short, 3 minutes or less. Like think about your attention span. Do you have 15 minutes to like sit and watch a video? Most of the time we're not doing that. So keep it short, keep it simple, get straight to the point. No like sugarcoating, no like just high value. Because people don't want their time wasted. All right, so to post on Instagram, IGTV, you have to go to see them. Once you post one, see that middle one right here? That'll take you to your IGTVs. And then to post them, you have to do that differently too. And if you guys are ready to post, just ask me and I'll tell you, because I haven't done one in a while and I've only done 2 so far. And every time I do it, I forget how I posted it. So I'll have to get back to you on that one. Next question. Are puzzle themes still the rage, or is it something different? I think it needs to be cohesive. It needs to be, like, I still like to see it like a little bit organized, but it doesn't have to be perfection at all. Like perfection is out. If people see your feed as like perfect, and that's like your grid, that's what she's talking about. Your grid is your top 9, like it shows up like this. So like if it looks like perfectly curated, most people are gonna think, oh, she's trying to sell me something, or like it's just a turnoff to a lot of people. So don't feel like you have to do that, and use that as a permission to let it be messy. Doesn't matter. You can fix it as you go. You're just trying to get started. It's not gonna be perfect. I try not to do like selfie all in a row, because I don't want to look like I'm full of myself. So I try to do like kind of a combination of graphics that I've created myself, and you can use Canva, WordSwag, PicMonkey. I use Unsplash. This is a huge, juicy secret, guys. Did you know that a lot of the time, the pictures that people use in their feed are not their own? Like that fancy bathroom really isn't theirs. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one that really thought that that was their fancy bathroom, but not always the case. Depending. Now, if they're saying, hey, here's my bathroom, it really should be their bathroom. But a lot of the time, they're using pictures from, like, there's websites where you can use any of the photos for free. You can give them credit or not. Most of, like, I don't give them credit because it's in my Instagram feed, and that's just weird to me. I don't have to, therefore I don't in that section. If anyone asked me, I'd point them to the picture. So Unsplash, it's like Pinterest, but it's all like pictures. Any picture you want. You can say bathrooms, women having fun. All of them are free. You can create boards. So like I have a board of like desk shots. I have a board of like shoes. So like I posted a picture and y'all probably like, oh, she's in her hammock today. That's not me. I don't even own a hammock. I just needed a picture that looks relaxing. And so I used that picture because like, so people don't know that it's not me. And I didn't say it was me. I just was talking about mental health and, you know, getting calm and those kind of things. So that was a huge eye opener. I was like mind blowing. What were you going to say?
How much does it matter whether it's your picture or not? I mean, like in that
case, take pictures. Take your own pictures, but sometimes I don't like take the time. Like I'm not good at that. And so I just use stock photos, and that's what those are considered.
Okay. But that's considered okay? That's fine because that's
like stock photos? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm not 100%. 100%. Now, I wouldn't say, like, I wouldn't take credit for taking the photo, you know, but depending. Now, I wouldn't be like, are my shoes cute? No, because it's not my shoes.
Right.
You know, like, so I'm not like being deceitful about it. I like the picture really was just to attract their attention to get them to read what I wanted them to say. Make sense?
Yeah, because sometimes I use my own pictures, sometimes I don't, and I just...
Yeah, you just want to make sure that you're using, like I wouldn't use Google anymore, like especially for Instagram as you're building your brand. I wouldn't use Instagram or Google. I know in the past when I didn't know any better, I would go to Google and be like, girl, you know, and like use one of those photos and ignore the whole copyright thing because I didn't understand. But now that I know better, I don't do that. Because I don't have permission to use those photos, but on Unsplash, you do have permission. Like all of them are free to use. And
is that an app or a website?
It's a website, but I save it to my phone, like, you know, so it looks like an app.
Right, okay.
And you can save it on boards like Pinterest. You know how Pinterest, you can have like a bathroom board. So like I have an office board that's like office type. I have one for signs. Like where I just want words, outdoorsy pictures. And sometimes I post my own sometimes I don't. It depends on my mood, it depends on if I have time. So, but Unsplash, they give you permission to share them, so they're not copyrighted.
Okay.
All right, so next question. Should you share content or more lifestyle behind the scene type posts on Instagram? So the content for your feed, everything you post in your feed, I want to encourage you. I know in the beginning you're going to have a few things that are more for cosmetic purposes possibly, but really you want it to be information, and this is for your Facebook page as well. You want it to be information that is shareable. Like if you read this, you'd want to share it with somebody, right? Because that gains more attraction and like the algorithm loves when that stuff is shared because they're like, oh, people like this. So they will show it more in the feed as well. And so, thank you. So definitely think about the content that you're putting out there. It doesn't have to be in the graphic. It could be in the words that you're writing, but you definitely want your content to be like substance, value, information, whatever is going to help the person that you're trying to reach. Maybe it's encouraging, maybe it's a tip, maybe it's a hack, whatever. Instagram stories can be a little bit more lighthearted than that. You want to balance it. Again, share something you love. Like that's not really value for your brand or for, you know, what you're trying to sell, but it's still something that the people that are watching your stories, another thing, the people that are watching your stories are your inside people. Like they're your hot leads because not everyone's going to take the time to watch your stories. If they're watching your stories regularly, you need to love on them a little bit because they're your people. They're your biggest cheerleaders. Because who has time to sit and watch all these Instagram stories, right? So number 9, how many times should you post a day for post, stories, Instagram, IGTV? IGTV, I don't know the answer specifically, but I do know that I think it really is up to you. You want to do once a week, once a month. You don't want to do them at all in the beginning. That's fine. But you will attract more people using IGTV. So I do recommend it. Stories, at least 5 a day. Posts, once or twice a week is plenty once you get established. For your stories, the other thing, someone's like, how many? Like, how many is too many? Because some people, like for me, like, I get really bored. If they don't hold my attention, I'm done. And so if you are bringing a lot of energy, well, that's me. Like I like energy. So like I will stay with you as long as you bring energy. If you don't bring energy, I'm pretty much tuning you out after one story. So, but if it's value, people will stay with you longer if you're bringing value and it's something they want to hear. So you don't want to do like 15 of just the birds or, 15 stories. You wouldn't want to do 5 stories of just birds. You really want it to be like engaging. Some of them talk, some of them don't. Some of them might just be a snapshot. Some of them might just be words. People want to get to know you. So if you can do selfies or share a video of you talking, that's going to help a lot. But in the beginning, if that's uncomfortable, you could have the camera facing away from you. I've done that on walks where I'm just talking and sharing from my heart as I'm walking. And that was fine too. I got a lot from that. One of the things I started doing was for my own accountability was like every day when I walked, I just snapped a photo and was like, did it, done. And that was to really encourage other people that were on a health journey to be more physically active and take that time for themselves. Okay, any questions yet? I got 2 more to answer and I think we're calling it a night unless y'all have more questions. Has this been helpful? Okay, next 2 questions. I gotta switch, this is from Instagram. So I have a former Instagram account and a current one. My email is still attached to my old account and I need to attach it to the current account. How do I delete the old account? I know that's more of a technical question, but I have struggled with this for months. Google that, maybe, definitely Google it. I will go back and look that up for her because I don't know the answer off the top of my head. Another person says, how much is too much video before it's a turn off? Again, I think I shared that. As long as you're bringing a lot of value, that's what's the most important. Best posting schedule to beat the algorithms. I do know that you want to stay on, like when you post, another tip, once you figure out the hashtags, you're going to copy all your hashtags. I think now they're saying like between 10 and 15 hashtags. So you're going to copy all of those into the notes section of your phone. So then you can copy it, and you don't post it with the caption. You're going to post it as the first comment. So in the first comment, that's where you put your hashtags. And you want to do that immediately, right after you post. So do it, go in, copy, paste, submit, and then you want to engage for at least 5 minutes once you post to kind of help everybody in Business Page, Instagram. And I've actually been really terrible at this. I'm still not very good at it. But every single comment needs a reply. And I'm not good at that, because if you just say, oh my gosh, I love your hair. Like, I mean, sometimes I might say thank you, but I feel like that's not helpful in serving you. Like, if you ask me a question, I'd absolutely like dig in, but do you ever get in a text message with someone and you're like, who's going to end this? Does this have to go on forever? Like, I feel that way. I'm like, someone's got to stop replying, No joke. These are the things that I think. I'm like, thank you. Okay, well, thank you. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to say now? Because I said thank you. You said thank you. Bye. I'm done. Don't respond to this. I'm really bad about just dropping off in the middle of, like, they might be in a conversation. I was like, I thought we were done. I'm on to my next task. So try to be good, at least in the beginning, and spending some 5 minutes after you post to go in and engage. And then, guys, I'm giving you permission right now. Take off Instagram notifications so you're not constantly going to Instagram all day long and not getting anything else done in your business or in your life. You shouldn't be attached to your phone. I want to encourage you to spend 10 minutes at the end of the day going in, engaging in people's posts, because if you expect engagement, you need to engage with them and interact. Watch some of the stories that show up. I'm sorry. So watch some of the stories that show up for you, and then when something kind of some of them you're not going to want to respond, but if something's like, oh my gosh, that was so funny, or oh my gosh, I love that, go on and respond and let them know. I love that. Don't be afraid if someone's giving good content, DMing them, be like, oh my gosh, I just want you to know, you're a huge inspiration to me. Those are things that are totally 1000% okay on Instagram. And most of the time, they're the ones that's going to get back to you. It's not going to be their fan club person, it's that person. Every time I DM, Jennifer Allwood, she always responds to me. If I tag her in something, she normally shares it on her feed in her stories. And then that helps people find me as well. So shout outs are a great way to help people and build that engagement. I think that's all my questions. You guys have questions? Turn off your notifications, go back last part of the day. That's what I was wanting to say. Do not feel because here's the thing, once you start doing it, it's like a high you get off of it, right? Likes and comments, it's like a drug, and you're like, ooh, and so then you go check it again, and it's like, oh, makes you feel all good, and then you want it again. And it's, we want to spend time with our family. Our family is what's important, but then here we are still scrolling on our phone. Don't waste a bunch of time scrolling. Be very specific, set a timer, get in and get out. And then set times during the day. So certain times of the day, okay, 5 minutes, I'm going to go in and respond to anything I got, comment to anything, you look at it, then you're done. That works for both Facebook and Instagram. You don't have to spend all day long on your phone or your computer or your emails. I want you guys to be intentional in building your life around your real priorities, right? Because your business is not the top of any of your guys' lists, right? Is business the top of your list? Anyone? No. It's definitely not number one or number two, probably not number three. So make sure you have those kind of in check. And that's it. Any questions? It was a lot of information. Y'all are so quiet. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, was this terrible?
No, we're soaking it all in, just trying to figure it all out, what we're going to do and how we're going to start this thing off.
I just want to challenge you to start it. And once you start it, first thing I want you to do is create a story and tag me in it. Real Talk with Melissa. That's me. Follow me on Instagram. Tag me, Real Talk with Melissa. And when you do that in your story, I will give one of your posts a shout out. So, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. I don't know. I'll say something about every single one of y'all that does that, just kind of give you a shout out, and that could help you get some new followers as well. So who's excited to use Instagram? I'm telling you, I love it. Just that people respond. Like, I don't know. It's just very comforting. Like, it's just more real than Facebook now, and before it was more fake. Does he have an Instagram account? No. He raised his hand, yes.
Oh, he would love to have one.
Oh, he wants one.
Well, I'm about to.
He wishes.
Listen, one day my kid said, why are you posting on your stories all the time? And I said, I just made $87 by posting a story. That shut them up. They were like, oh, I really thought you were just playing around, Mom. And I was like, no, like, this is legit. You know, lastly, DM me and I will send you some accounts to follow that give really good tips for Instagram. And I know some people that do 31 really well on Instagram, and I'll give you those accounts to follow as well, because I think they're very good examples of how you can kind of do it all together and it not be super businessy, because you don't want your Instagram account to look like a commercial. It's a story. It's your own TV show. Look at it that way.
Oh.
Listen, the more real, the more people watch.
This crazy life. I don't know about that.
Oh, girl, I bet you can tell a ton of stories. Are you still doing the daycare?
Nope. No, I'm not doing that anymore. So.
Sad.
Well, congratulations on that.
Yes, it's exciting. I started working for a company here in Omaha, and I've got the hours that the kids are in school, so it's awesome.
I know you have to feel so much better. But you know what? Now you could actually like do like entertainment for those who like also used to do that or do that, so that you can like tell all the funny stories and make them laugh.
Oh yeah, make them feel that, you know, they're not alone.
Yeah, so that could be one. I was thinking about that as we were talking about you, like that could be part of your audience. And that's something you could be an expert in, how to set it up. How did you do it? How many clients, like how did you get clients? Like how did you, you know, all that stuff. You're muted.
It's because he keeps messing with my buttons. Do's and don'ts of the daycare world would be a good one.
Yes, you could definitely, like, even for like what to look for in a good daycare, things to look for in a good person you want to take in to your daycare, you know, both sides of it. That could be a really good niche for you.
I'll put it down, see what I can do.
Anyone else have questions about like the niche or like what you're good at, or wondering like, is this too basic? Like, can I do this? Anyone want to talk about that? Or are y'all ready to go? You can message me because I really need to eat. I haven't ate since some corn chips I ate at 12 and I'm hungry. And I have like a lot more stuff I need to get done because I was at the doctor all day. So I'm going to let y'all go. I will be sending the playback to everybody. So you'll have the playback video as well. For a minute, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to record. That would have been terrible. But if you're interested in more trainings like this is the kind of stuff I would love to do for you. 31 is doing plenty on booking, selling, recruiting. Like you can get all that stuff for the most part from the company. I want to teach you guys this kind of stuff. So that's it. I'm going to go. Last thoughts? Y'all good?
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Have a nice night.
You too.